Awaken your journey of inner peace and harmony through the transformative power of yoga. Join us in the online yoga course with Sadhguru. Sign up to experience the transformative benefits of yoga. The link is in the description.
Sadhguru, you have said that our psychological situation can be influenced by what we eat. Medical science is talking about how fruits and vegetables promote psychological wellness. Is there any significance to this? And is a predominantly fruit diet only for someone doing certain kinds of sadhana? Or is it also okay for people in regular situations involving work, family, or lots of physical activity?
In any machine or any kind of fuel that we use, the efficacy of the fuel essentially is in how easily it burns. Why the kind of gasoline you use for automobiles is one thing, what you use in the tractors is one way, what you use in a fast car is another way, what you use in an airplane is another way. Essentially, how easily it burns. You have seen in your gas stations about the octane levels, 87, 89, 90, 91, 93, 96. Well, when we were riding motorcycles, we would pay 3 times and buy 100 octane, because putting 100 octane, suddenly the motorcycle performs in a way that others cannot. So, you know very well, the most easily digestible food is fruit. Digestion means the Jataragni, the digestive fires as they are known. If these fires have to burn most effectively, fruit is definitely the best thing. Only those people who enjoy inertia, that means they enjoy part of them being dead. Don't think it's a joke. A lot of people do. A lot of people enjoy lethargy and inertia, unfortunately. That means somewhere life has not touched them. So, sleeping, intoxication, overeating and just lying down there feels better than being alive and active and dynamic in one's life. So only for such a person, fruit may be a problem because it'll keep you alert and awake. It doesn't keep you intoxicated, unless it ferments, of course. So it has that quality also, you just have to wait. One can know an extreme sense of joy and intoxication and a deep pleasure out of heightened levels of awareness also. But now the question is, can I be normal and eat fruit? Or can I eat fruit and still be normal? You know, even Adam started with a fruit. So, when we say fruit, we must understand, fruit is one aspect which nature itself intends to be food in the sense. Most fruit, what you find, let's say a mango or an apple, being month of May, I refuse to talk about apple, I'll talk about mango. The seed is the important part of the mango. The flesh is only a draw, it's a lure, so that animals and birds will go for this and carry the seed somewhere far away and drop it. I think for this question, the simple answer is in your general practice of life itself. Suppose you are ill in a hospital, let's say, you're in a hospital bed, nobody brings you chicken biryani, isn't it? They'll bring fruits. Because even your friends and relatives understand that, okay, you're eating all that, you got sick, at least now you eat sensibly. That's a message. So fruit can do miraculous things to the body. Sufficient consumption of fruit can do great things to the system. One can become very, very alive and active, no matter what is your lifestyle. But if you're doing very menial kind of job, let's say you're digging outside every day physically, not with a machine, but you're physically digging and doing very hard work, then you may find every 2 hours you get hungry because of the fruit. Because there is only that much volume you can eat, but it gets digested so rapidly that you may feel empty stomach. Till you come to a certain level of awareness where you are able to be empty stomach and still be energetic. Because hunger is about running out of energy, it's like you're running out of battery, that's why you need to eat. But today, a lot of people, or most people I would say, when they feel little empty in the stomach, they feel like eating. To get out of this, you need a little bit of awareness that you're empty stomach, but still you're okay, because you're energetic. When your energy starts dipping, you eat. So if you go on a total fruit diet, you may have to either spend a little more time on the lunchtime and eat slowly so that you ingest enough fruit. Because with little fruit you will feel full because it's generally sweet. So one has to wait and slowly eat. There is also a bio clock within us that, let us say, your normal meal, cooked meal, you're taking 10-12 minutes to eat. Even if you eat fruit, by the time you reach 10-12 minutes, your body says you've eaten enough. So you have to consciously eat more. Because it is timing you, it is not looking at the fill, it's just timing you. When those 10-12 minutes are gone, you feel you're full. So one has to go beyond that and consume enough. But if you're only on fruit diet and physically very active, it is important that maybe you bring 3 meals into your day, and most of you may already be doing it. So, 3 times a day, if you're sleeping 6 hours or 8 hours or whatever, for the remaining hours, 16 to 18 hours, 3 times eating is more than enough if you're eating fruit. But stomach will feel empty within 2 hours' time. So you must get used to hanging on with high energy but empty stomach. This is the time your brain works best, this is the time as a human being you function best, it'll be good for you. So if you want to use your brain power and also physical activity, it'll work perfectly well. But the fruit that you get in the market today, we don't know what it is filled with. There is a little bit of a problem. Because I clearly noticed this, the kind of country fruits that we used to eat when we were young, and today the farm-grown fruits that are coming to us, even in India, I mean here it's another matter altogether, even in India, they're not the same. They're much bigger, rounder, better looking, but this is like Botox. This doesn't work. I can clearly feel it's not the same level of strength and aliveness in it, simply because this is made for the market, not for the man. These fruits are essentially made for the market. This doesn't mean that they're totally a waste, but they don't have the same nutrient that it used to have. So, we may have to fortify it with some amount of other food. We must check and see what kind of fruits you're exposed to and seasonally there are variety of fruits. It's very incredible that what kind of fruits the land produces at a certain time is most suitable for the system. There's a lot of study about this, how for those seasons when it's cold, when it's hot, when the moisture is very high, the right kind of fruit comes out of the earth. If you're eating from that area, but now you're eating fruit that comes from New Zealand, this is another matter. If you're eating from the land around you, you will see the right kind of fruit is coming to you at the right season. It's the best thing to eat at that time. Above all, it's ecologically a very sensible way to eat. Right now we are launching a campaign that everybody should turn at least 30% fruity. It is at least 30% of your diet should become fruit. Because if 30% of your food comes from the trees, not from plowed land and crop, ecologically it'll make a huge difference for the world. And if you're trying to shift from heavy meat eating to fruit, then you may find it's like you've eaten nothing because you're used to being pulled down to the earth, eating very heavy food. I want you to understand this. Anyway, you will be pulled down to the earth, that's the nature, okay? But right now, what is called life is that we spring out as if we don't belong. That we fly in such a way that it doesn't look like we're made of earth. Even the bird that soars is made of earth, but when it's soaring up there, it doesn't look like earth. So every life, when it springs out, it should not look like earth, but we are of the earth. But if we want to spring up, the fuel that we consume, the fuel that we put into this system must be that which burns quick and very easily inflammable. What is easily flammable is the best food. In our stomach, without doubt, fruit is that which burns up quickest. So this means least amount of residue, least amount of tax on the system, least amount of stress in the system. So definitely it'll make a huge difference. I knew somebody who went on some 1,008 days of only one fruit. This person went on orange. Only oranges for 1,008 days this lady ate. She was full of ailments when she started. She was a diabetic, high blood pressure, and I don't know, they told me a list of problems that she had, serious very thyroid issues, overweight. In 1,008 days, she came out like she was 20 years younger and full of vitality, all ailments gone totally. This is one person I'm saying, please don't go on just oranges, we'll run short of oranges or at least move to Florida. Yes, fruit will make a wonderful difference, especially in today's world, it's very important because we value a human being, in the work areas I'm saying. We value a human being for their brain power, not their brawn power, unless you're on WW whatever nonsense, okay? So, for this, fruit will make a huge difference for sure. And ecologically, it's the most sensible thing to do. Between fruit and meat, for one person to survive, let's say that you have to survive on just meat, an approximate calculation is, we will need 15,000 liters of water to produce meat for one person for 1 year. If you go on fruit diet, we will need 300 liters of water. You should. All the rivers will flow once again. All you need to do is just be the way you want to be. How do you want to be? That's all. It's that simple, but it's also that far away, isn't it? It's that simple. After all, you want to be joyful. Just be that way, who's stopping you? No, no, they're doing this. See, now, you don't want them to do what they want to do, but you want to do what you want to do. This is a problem. If you want to do what you want to do, you must also be okay with everybody doing what they want to do. That's the only way, because freedom is a two-way stream, isn't it? Yes? Now, is somebody physically torturing you? If that is so, you come, we'll take you away. Because then you need to be protected. Nobody is physically torturing you, they're just doing what they want to do, they're saying what they want to say. Are they just saying just what they know? Isn't it? So, who is causing the mess within you? Yourself. Because somewhere you believe if you become angry, if you become miserable, it may pay off. And it does sometimes. If there are more miserable people around you who value your misery, it pays off, isn't it? Yes? If you act miserable in the house, you get many things. If you're joyful, maybe you don't get. Isn't it so? So you learn the trick. But what you need to understand is the trick is double-edged. If you're miserable, whatever the hell you get, it doesn't mean anything. If you're joyful, you don't get anything, so who cares? So, this is not just your trick. Everybody around you has always been playing this trick. And you thought that's the way. But what is it that you want? You want to be joyful or miserable? So just be the way you want to be. Does it infringe on anybody? Does it infringe on anybody? No. Now I want to smoke. If I do, now this is going to cause some disturbance to somebody. I want to just be happy. Is it infringing on anybody's anything? Is it, I'm asking? So you be the way you want to be, who's stopping you? You cannot do whatever you want to do, but you can be the way you want to be, isn't it? Yes? Can anybody stop you? Others need not even know that you're joyful. If they like a miserable face, give it to them. If they like miserable faces, give it to them, but you can still be joyful, isn't it? Right now we'll experiment, okay? Right now a lot of faces are looking joyful. I want you to maintain the same joy and look miserable. Do it now. Do it now. Let me see. You don't smile at me. Show me a miserable face being joyful within you. You must practice. Please do it. See, this will be needed in your home. If you're all the time ha 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 ha, they'll go crazy. Sometimes they expect a miserable face. What's so spiritual about you, all this damn yoga, he and all? What's the problem? Action should be the way the situation demands. Have I not been insisting on this all the time? But you tell me, which is first? Your way of being is first or action is first? Which comes first? Your way of being. So if you say, I want to be joyful, establish that. Action, as the situation demands. Some people like misery, some people like laughter, some people like crying. Do it. I do everything. Please practice life in the satsang, that's why you're here. Encounter with truth, you know. It should happen here, not after you go home. What I'm telling you is, everything that you do is actually act, isn't it so? Either you do it consciously or you do it compulsively. If you do it compulsively, you think it's real. But actually it's an act, isn't it so? Everything is cooked up in your head, isn't it, whatever you do? So it's anyway an act. So do you want to do it consciously or do you want to do it compulsively? That's all the choice is. So you do it compulsively and you think it's real, it's a foolish way to exist. It's anyway an act, at least do it consciously, then life will be beautiful. If you do it compulsively, it looks like a trap. It's not a trap. Life is not a trap, because the exit is always there, wide open. Yes or no? Yes or no? Life is not a trap. The exit is always open, everybody is trying to dodge the exit. No? So, if the exit was closed, only then you can call it a trap, isn't it? The exit is always wide open. One moment if you don't take care, you will be dead. The exit is wide open. Your whole life is to somehow not to reach the exit. Isn't it so? So it is not a trap. It is just that if you think that your acts are all real, then it feels like a trap. Whatever you think, feel and do is your act, isn't it so? Yes or no? When you do not realize it's your act, you think it's God-given instructions. You'll start hearing voices. When you hear voices, it's very clear you need treatment. So, if you ask this one, this wants to be as pleasant as possible, isn't it? Yes? You want to know the highest state of pleasantness, isn't it so? So who is stopping you? No, but they're doing this. They're doing what they like. You be the way you want to be. If you establish your way of being, then whatever you do is just a question of the situation. Depending on what kind of situations when they exist, accordingly we act. No, I want to do my own thing. There is no your own thing. No, I want to become an IT professional. There is no such damn thing. Because you're born today in India, you are thinking of IT professional. Suppose you were born here 1,000 years ago, you would be thinking of fishing in the ocean, isn't it? Yes or no? Action is as the situation demands and offers, isn't it? How to be is yours. If you've decided how to be that way, perform action as it is necessary. Then, if you have a demon for your partner, that's the best thing. But your partner, your husband, wife is not just about spiritual growth, you also want to have a pleasant life in the family. Then you have to choose someone whom you like, but any human being on the planet, there is something that you don't like about them, isn't it so? So you use that part of it for your spiritual growth and the rest of it you enjoy. Just as life. So if your intention is to have a good family, then some rapport is needed between two people, otherwise it won't work. Especially if you have produced children, then rapport is must, otherwise you'll foul the new life that's come up. If you create a foul atmosphere, you'll foul up the new life that is coming up. Nobody has any right to do that actually, but people are doing it. But no human being has any right. You can mess yourself up as much as you want, that's up to you. But you can't mess up a fresh life that's just coming up. So, if you're looking for good life, family life, then one has to find rapport and that rapport means some areas of commonality at least. But if you're looking for spiritual life, It doesn't matter what kind of person he is, you can use everything for your growth. Everything for your growth, if that's all your focus is. But generally your focus is both ways, you want to have a little bit of that and a little bit of this. So mixed fare. So it gets little complex. So, to build a rapport takes effort, takes compromise, takes love, endurance. Takes endurance, you know. Somebody is constantly like this, you want to build rapport with that person, but you don't want to go his way. That takes lots of endurance. Yes or no? People whom you love are not easy. So what can you do? One thing is to transform yourself in such a way, being in your presence, unknowingly, their cup will turn around. Just yesterday, you know, the other day I just went out in the rain, I went out and it started raining and I was carrying both my India phones because I was expecting some calls and I mean, one is India, one is Europe, one is America, 3 phones I had. One I had in my jacket, other in my trouser pockets, and by the time I got here it got wet and both the phones just burnt up. Then people around me were telling me, Sadhguru, why carry 2 phones? Now we can have 2 SIM cards in one phone. If you hold it like this, you can speak on the India SIM card. If you turn it around, it just shifts into the other SIM card. You don't have to switch anything, just this way it handles one SIM card. If you turn it around, it handles another SIM card. You have to become like this. I was very suspicious of this phone, I didn't get it, but but you must become like this. If you wish to take people who are around you with you, if you want to walk alone, it's very easy. If you want to take people with you, then it takes a considerable amount of effort. When Gautama was asked this question, is it better to walk alone on the path or with a companion? He's not like me, he's dry. He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. He's not saying don't walk with anybody, he's not saying don't have companions, but he said it's better to walk alone than walk with a fool. Because they can drain you, they can take such a lot of energy and time and you don't know, they may be stronger than you and they may take you their way than you taking them your way. There's every possibility, yes? So, I won't say what Gautama said. All I am saying is, it doesn't matter how you walk, as far as your spiritual process is concerned, anyway you're alone. Nobody is with you. It's only the bodily process, the material process of life, which you can share with people. You come alone and you go alone, isn't it? Even if you have a twin brother or a twin sister, you still come alone and go alone, isn't it so? So when it comes to the spirit, anyway, you walk alone. So don't mix that up. So that part of it you handle well, the material part of it according to your capability, to what extent you can do it, you do it. They come your way, it's wonderful. If they don't, it's all right, don't grudge them. It's just that you don't have to go that way. Maybe someday when the doctor tells you, Your liver is in a bad state, he may seek divine, you know. Yes. Have you seen people who are walking in the morning? Not everybody, there are certain type of people, these are all over 50, 55 age group people. They have become lean and they're walking briskly every day, religiously they are there. These are all people who generally had a cardiac problem. They almost died. Then their doctor told them, either you do this or you're gone. Now their walking is like a religion. Not Sunday morning, every morning. Have you seen those people? Suddenly they transform, they eat properly, they do everything properly because the fear of life and death has come. So different people need different kinds of impetus. If you're sensible, you learn by just looking. If you're not sensible, you learn by thrashing. Life will thrash you. The material part of your life is never 100% proper. It never can be. Isn't it so? Is there any family which is a perfect family? Is there any relationship which is a perfect relationship? Is there any business which is a perfect business? Is there any career which is a perfect career? There is no such thing. Don't seek that. Your life will become wasteful and fanciful if you seek such things. They all happen to the extent you're capable of handling them, that's all. So, you make sure the spiritual part of your life, you handle it 100% properly.
We appreciate you being part of this incredible journey. Keep exploring our channel for more inspiration and transformative insights.